Hello guys, my name is Gilmen's. I'm here today to introduce you to Stellar. Stellar is an action-based web framework, but we will talk about it later in this video. First of all, I would like to apologize for my English. I will try my best. And let's start by introduce myself. Like I said before, my name is Gil Mendes. I live in Portugal. I have a master's degree in the informatics engineering. There is three links here that will lead you to some places that I'm in the internet. The first one is my Twitter username. You will find there the late things that I'm doing or working on, the things that I like. On the second link, it's my GitHub username is the same as Twitter. You can find stellar source code. You can find other projects that I'm working at the moment. And the last one is the Medium. The username is the same again. Um, I try use it on every place that I can. Here on Medium, you can find some posts that I wrote related with node.js, Stellar, and Rust Lang, and some other stuff related with my life. But okay, let's go to what matters and new challenges. What that means, new challenges. Um, we developers and companies are facing some new challenge like APIs. Uh, why APIs? APIs is a trend now, but is more than that. Is a way to get to an end. What that means? For example, imagine that you have a client that needs a website that does some sort of interaction with the user and present a list of information to the user, and this information is dynamic. But today, your client needs that website, but tomorrow maybe he needs a native a native application or a web application, a mobile app. I don't know. So what I want to say is when you using APIs, you can separate your business logic and model layer and the data layer from the view layer, and with that you can reuse the same API to feed different views and different applications. So you don't need to uh, um, rebuild your data layer which each time that you build a new interface to that layer. The second point, easy to maintain. Yes, because we live in a world that our companies, we developers we are facing um, constantly changing requirements from our customers, our clients, right? And we need to act fast and apply change fast to our applications. So we need a tool that can make our life easier on this matter. And third point, fast development and deploy. Yes, fast development. Why? Because we live in the jungle. Yeah, I think that is the right word. We live in the jungle of companies that are competing with each other to be the first and to be the best. And for we to be the best on these days, we need to be fast, and we must create develop a fast prototype on the on the small amount of time. We must deliver the most valuable product or MVP to our clients as fast as you can as we can, and the deploy is the same. We must deploy fast to our customers to make face to the competitors. Um, and the last but not least, real-time functionalities. Yes, on the latest years, we are facing uh, the appearance of real-time functionalities like on chat, some sort of real-time dashboards and news feeds and that sort of things. And it's hard to maintain projects with the known real-time and real-time features. So it's a new challenge. In conclusion, until now, limited modularity. What that means? That means that when you uh, develop a set of features on the previous project, um, you can't easily import that features that you previously developed to your new project. Uh, Sorry. Without copy pasting, make some change on your code, maybe apply a set of configurations. This is negative point. The second one, hard to test. Yeah, I think uh, on to on today in today sorry in nowadays, yeah, that is the right word. Nowadays, I think the most of the developers are aware that tests test day code is a good thing, is the right thing to do, because we will save money and time uh, after the deployment, because we will find bugs and bad implemented features that we wouldn't find in another way. Um, but I know that is really difficult to test our code, especially when we are talking about APIs. Um, to finish, hard to maintain projects with real-time features. Yes, like I said before, the most of the web are building with stateless technology like PHP. Um, that is changing, but continues to be a reality nowadays. Um, I'm sorry. And if we are if we talk about PHP, um, and if you work with PHP, you know that you can't create real-time features without using third-party package service or other sort of stuff that will cost you time and money, especially when you use a third-party solution, because maybe a third-party solution. No, what I meant is a service. Uh, Normally, they are highly costly. Okay. Um, I'm doing all over again. I found this interesting sentence on the post on Medium. You can see it on if you follow this link on bottom right corner of the screen. Um, and the author says engineers should be solving new and interesting problems, not rebuilding the same apps over and over. That is job for robots. And this is a really interesting sentence because this represents what we are doing on the last couple on the last decade. Uh, we solve the problems, but we don't create patterns and standards for that specific problem, and we keep solving the same problems over and over again, and that needs to get to an end. That needs to stop. Um, and for that, and for all the reasons that I've talked about until now, I passed my uh, last 2 years, or since almost 2 years, planning and implementing a solution that will help us facing that problems that we have talked before. Okay, the so I create a new web framework called Stellar, and Stellar is an action-based web framework. That means that we create a new from scratch framework to easily create web APIs and address the main flaws of the current frameworks. We're using a new paradigm that is the concept of actions to easily maintain our code, make our APIs scalable and performant. Strong points of this solution. We can support multiple protocols in the same as instance of execution. Uh, we can support HTTP, WebSockets, and TCP out of the box without installing additional package or additional configurations. Um, um, all the solutions was developed over the node.js platform is a really powerful and modern platform to develop this kind of things um, because the performance, the community, the millions of package there is out there on the npm um, and is non-blocking. That is non-blocking and synchronous. That is a cool thing. All the code is written in JavaScript ECMAScript 6. There is some features. There is from S7. Um, the current features that the Node.js don't support, we transpile them to ECMAScript 5 to be executed on the current versions of Node.js. Um, Stellar is modular. That means that you can easily add or remove containers of features or set of features without much work. Um, you will see it on the later videos that uh, that I will make. Um, the Stellar is extremely extensive. What is this? All the core was developed with the main idea of extend or modify or replace core features. You can replace everything on the core. Um, Highly testable, yes, because we developed the Stellar uh, from scratch to find a solution to the problem of testing, and I think that we got a really good solution for that. But we will talk about that on the later video. Um, Stellar Stellar is runs or lives in a global context. That means that Stellar is just a tool or is a tool that are installed on your system, and you can execute or launch an instance of one of your projects in every place on the system. Um, this is a really powerful tool because with that we can generate uh, all type of components that as part of the concept of Stellar, actions, tasks, satellites, tests, models. Yeah, you can run your application tests directly on the with this command line tool. You can start an instance as a daemon. Is a cool feature to a production server. We also provide a way to real time interact with the instance. That is a cool feature for debugging. And one more thing, Stellar is able to generate full automatic documentation um, without human interaction. This is possible because of the anatomy of this of the structure of an action. As you can see here, we have different properties on this action: name, description, input, output example, and run. The mandatory properties are the name, description, and run. The other ones are completely optional, but in the case of the input property, is this one can be used to apply restrictions to our input parameters to our action. As you can see, you can use async await syntax that will make your code more cleaner and readable for you and for other developers. This name, description, inputs, and output examples will be used to generate automatic documentation. We should describe as best as you can your action on the description properties of the input and the action to get a better documentation. Other cool features. We have a cache system over the Redis. We have a chat room that allows to create bidirectional communications between the client and the server. Local database, yes, because you don't need to set up a database or a Redis instance or MongoDB instance to get started developing. Sorry, let's drink some water. To start developing your APIs. We also have a powerful login system. We also have a powerful cluster system out of the box without additional configurations, a validator system, embedded task system, and some other sort of cool things and stuff to use to easy make our life easier. As a conclusion, Stellar can represent a major step forward for developers and organizations who develop web APIs. Um, and and for that, I want to continue improve this solution as I as a as I've been made on the last on the last months. Um, um, as future steps, I want to get supported by Patreon in order to continue create new new features and create new models as authentication, authorization, an email model, etc. And I want to also create a package manager and a repository to centralize all the models in just one place, and add the ability to easily add a model to your project simply using the command line tool. Uh, you can find all the all the documentation uh, on the stellar-framework.com, um, and you can also leave in the comments your questions. I will try answer them there or in the next video. Feel free to join us in this new journey uh, for all of us. Is a new challenge to me also. As you can see, my English is not so good, but I will try improve them in the next videos. Uh, so to finish this video, I want to leave the idea that I want to make uh, with this series. I'm planning to create a full application, uh, and the API will be developed in Stellar, of course, and the front end developed in Vue.js. I think that will make sense. We can see a more real scenario of use case of our solution. So for today it's all, and until then, I see you next time.